Good day to all, it's your boy Burner, and today I'm experimenting with OBS right now because the previous screen recorder that I had was absolute garbage. And also, today we are going to be talking about uh, playing in expert mode on mobile. Well, I'm already on mobile, so you might as well take this advice anyway, even if it can apply to desktop, but that's not really my point. This is also unscripted, even though I feel like it should, since it's a tutorial, whatever. Anyway, today we are going to be talking about. I already said it. So, one of the first things you encounter in Terraria when you create a new world is the guide. The guide. You're going to want to protect him as he will be required later in the game. As some of you should know, if you ever played classic mode before expert mode and are wanting to heed some advice, uh, the first thing you should do, or at least what I have done, and look at me now, I've already reached the underworld and defeated Skeletron, and I'm sorry I didn't record it, it's just, that was a thing. What you should do, chop down a tree, obviously. Craft yourself a wooden sword. That's probably your top priority, since the copper short sword, that's not, it's not exactly the best thing you get. So get yourself a wooden broadsword so you can defend yourself from some slimes. And normally in Terraria, you would just go about and explore after you've gotten some wood and stuff, but I would not recommend that. I would recommend you at least build a house first for you and the guide to stay in for the night, since, especially in expert mode, zombies are highly difficult. Well, I'm talking. This is an expert mode tutorial, so why am I? Well, I don't know why I'm talking about classic mode, but anyway. You have to make a house first before you go exploring and look for some weapons. I mean, yes, you obviously would want some weapons, but if you're in classic mode, it's most likely okay to do that. But in expert mode, building a house to protect yourself at night is a high priority. After you have built the house, and the house should have walls, a table, a chair, and of course some solid blocks to surround you and protect you from zombies, as well as a door so you can actually enter. You could go exploring a bit, find some surface chests, and I don't know, get yourself a spear or an umbrella. Or if you're lucky, you can find a water chest and find water walking boots if you're highly interested in getting the Tower Spark boots. However, it's best you do that later in pre-hard mode rather than on your first night. Although I do actually have it. Uh, After you go look for some weapons, it's most likely night by then. So you ought to just stay in your house and fend off some zombies with your newfound weapons, if you have any. Maybe a boomerang or an umbrella. Either of those will do you wonders. Although the boomerang would be better to use if you're interested in making a flamerang. I would not recommend playing by classes this early on, so you should just use any weapons you find. And especially when fighting your first boss, Eye of Cthulhu, or at least I think that would be your first boss, especially if you want the Shield of Cthulhu, which is a very useful item to have. Then, of course, I would recommend you not stick to a class and use something like a bow with few arrows, maybe jester arrows or whatnot. So, after you survive your first night, you can go spelunking, all that, getting better armor. I mean, I forgot to mention, you could, or I would highly recommend you get wooden armor first on your first day so you can survive as well. Because what's better than having at least 3 defense on your first night on expert mode? So anyway, you should probably get yourself some good armor, good weapons, and then once you go ahead and fight Eye of Cthulhu, you should have gold at least. And if you do go spelunking, you'll most likely find some life crystals, which can really help you, especially in Skeletron. He's a very difficult boss in expert mode, possibly the hardest I've heard from some. But you know, it's not mandatory unless, of course, you're going to defeat Skeletron on pre-hard mode. Then it's absolutely recommended. And my goodness, is this frame rate so bad? During normal gameplay, I would have like, I don't know, 30 FPS. But I'm recording on Windows using an iPhone recorder, and I'm also recording the iPhone recorder on OBS, meaning frame rates can't get any worse than this. So those are my tips for surviving in expert mode, and see you all later, or rather I won't see you, because I'm not sure who is watching, but, well, you won't see me either, because, well, I'm not using my webcam, but you will see me play, or at least talk about some other stuff later, and goodbye.